So let's get started then. So welcome back, everybody, to At Titi's House podcast. Man, make sure you follow us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That's where we're available. So welcome back. Let's talk about what is going on today. Like this Diddy thing. I'm trying to first of all, let me say this. Today I learned something.
What you learned?
Man, can I tell you that I learned today? All these years I've been thinking Diddy baby mama, Kim Porter, had a baby with Christopher Williams.
Who's Christopher Williams?
The singer Christopher Williams.
I don't know who that is.
And the baby was with Al B. Shore.
Oh, yeah.
I learned that today.
Yeah, I knew about that. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, Al B.
Why
Shore.
did I think it was Christopher Williams?
I'm not sure. I don't even know who Christopher Williams is.
He's a singer too. Actually, he used to sing, like music like Al B. Shore. I love Al B. Shore. Like, how did I not know that?
Yeah.
Man, I was so shocked today. I was like, Al B. Shore? What? I thought Kim Porter's... So Quincy, her oldest son, is with Al B. Shore. I learned that today. Man, all these years, and I'm thinking it was with Christopher Williams. I done put the baby on Christopher Williams.
He don't want no parts of this situation.
He don't want no parts. I know Al B. Shore had posted something like telling his son that the door is open anytime. Like, you can come home. Come here. You know what I'm saying? It's safe here.
Yeah,
basically.
it's safe here.
So it's a lot going on. Like, this is, like, at first I was thinking, all right, this is a bunch of bull. And they're just trying to bring a black man down.
And they're just trying to get some money out.
They're trying to get some money out of him. He's billionaire status. You know what I'm saying? And, who's making up these lies on Diddy? Like, I don't like this. Like, at first I was like really offended because I'm like, why would somebody make these lies up? But now it's like everybody got something to say.
And like them like the Homeland, those are HSI or FBI, CIA. They not coming unless they got a
case.
A case, yeah.
That's what everybody is saying. Like, okay, his mule got arrested. That's the drug dude.
His mule.
That's what they was calling him, the mule. Did you know he played basketball for Syracuse?
Oh, no. Word.
So he played basketball for Syracuse.
He don't even look like a hooper.
I know, right? But it's so funny because it's like, okay, so you arrested the person that was transporting the drugs. Then supposing Young Miami was a sex worker.
Oh,
and on
man.
top of that, she was transporting pink cocaine.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much detail in these allegations.
That you kind of
But you're right, though. Like, the CIA, FBI, Homeland Security is not coming out unless they have a case. Because they don't want to be sued. So, is it true or is it not true? What do you think? Because I'm torn between... I'm in the middle. Like, it could possibly be, and it could possibly be somebody trying to set Diddy up.
I just think about like all the horror stories I heard in the music industry just on his wrongdoings as a businessman. So that has to come from some personal life stuff. You know what I mean? So nobody's going to speak bad on your character if you're not a bad person. And I've just heard so many stories of him.
I have too. Like he wasn't paying people.
Taking
he
everything.
was taking their money, or he was saying he was going to pay and didn't pay. Like
taking their publishing.
Taking their publishing rights. Like, he owned publishing rights to everybody music.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't give it to them.
Yeah.
And wouldn't let them buy it either, right? That's what they were saying. But it's just so sad because I feel like, dang, he's such an icon in the industry, in the music industry. Like, he took music to another level, and just to see even the people from like Danity Kane, they were talking about him. Like, everybody's like, this Diddy is not a good person.
Yeah, exactly. I heard that he had secret hidden cameras in every room in his house, so he had some so he could blackmail people that was coming to his parties. So we'll see if that footage drops.
I want to see.
If 50 Cent said he got top dollar for the footage.
Man, I'm just so disappointed. Like, I'm kind of disappointed because you work so hard to get to the place and the level you are. You're a billionaire, and now your shit is about to crumble. And there's so many people waiting to see it fall. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so disappointing to me.
I think it's, first of all, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a freak or being extra freaky, extra kinky,
Me
but you can't
either.
force people to do it. Like they're saying that he was telling people you have to do hey, you have sex with this person. You do this. Like people have to
You can't. You have to be
it.
open to it.
Yeah, they got to
You
come
can't.
with that. You got to find people in that lifestyle too. You can't just make people do that.
Absolutely. You can't make nobody do what they don't want to do. And I think that you definitely need to, like with Cassie, you know, like they said he forced her to do so many things. And I think he participated in a lot of the escapades and was with men. I do think that people, and I'm going to say men because I don't think women, and I might be wrong. This is my perspective, so don't bash me, people. But I think that when men get to that level and I was going to say a bad word, and they've had sex with so many women, what else is there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, after a while, it just becomes routine and there's no excitement in I can smash how many women I want to. I can have this woman. I can have an exotic woman. I can have this woman, that woman. After a while, it gets old, doesn't it? So you have to introduce new things. And I think that's just like when you're married and, you know, your spouse might ask you to have a threesome. I'm not opposed to that, but there's boundaries. You have to set boundaries. You have to set the rules. You got to lay down the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to do this, make sure that you express, like you said, you can't force anybody to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And even with women in relationships and marriages, if you don't want to have a threesome, then give them a pass to go out here and smash somebody. You can only smash once. You got to lay down the rules. If you don't want to have a threesome, then lay down the rules and say, hey, I'm going to give you the hall pass, pick whoever you want, or you pick the woman, like, set up the boundaries. I think that, you know, with Cassie, I think he did a lot of wrong stuff to her, and it was unfair, but I think he participated. I think he was freaky and she wasn't. That's why he had to drug her the way he did. Like, it's not fair, like you said, to take advantage of somebody or hold them hostage because you feel like, you know, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That ain't fair to her.
No, it's crazy, and if he's guilty, I hope he gets what's coming his way. You know, what's well deserved.
Yeah, I agree.
It's grimy, like
it's grimy to me. Yeah, and what? Okay, so y'all coming for Diddy? Why y'all coming for Jay-Z? They talking about Jay-Z next.
No, I think Jay-Z is.
You think he's safe on the up and up? Jay-Z, I hope so, because I don't even want to see him. I don't want to see it. But they were saying like, why Beyonce with Jay-Z? Like, he ugly and this is this. And I was like, why is y'all coming for Jay-Z now? What did Jay-Z do? What do y'all know that Jay-Z has done? They said Jay-Z has a child out here, though, that he don't claim.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
A girl, older girl child that he does not claim, which I think, to me, I think that's unfair. Because you are this millionaire, you should claim all your children. And if you don't know doing DNA tests, why would you not? I think she's been trying to get him to do that for years, and he doesn't want to do it. So I don't know what that's about. Jay-Z, take care of your responsibilities. You know, if you have a child out here, why would you not want to know? But anyway, going off on a tangent, but they are saying that Jay-Z is next. And I'm like, what does Jay-Z got to do with
Jay-Z
Diddy?
don't even be around Diddy like that.
So do you think Diddy had something to do with Tupac and Biggie? Because now it makes me feel like
he been manipulating everything this whole time.
You've been doing some shit, Diddy.
He been thinking he could get away with everything.
And you've been getting away with it. Like, seriously. Because now that comes back to surface. Like, did you have something to do with Tupac's death?
Yeah. I mean, it could be true. I'm not too sure. What facts did you hear that made you question it?
Just the fact, like, just this. Like, if you've been doing this for 20, 30 years now, you could have gotten away with that. You know what I'm saying? And just think about it. If you watch the story, like, it's never come to an end. It's never, like, you got all this evidence, but you've never been able to arrest anybody.
They locked somebody up like 4 months ago.
A few months ago, they did. Yeah. The guy, I think he was was he the police officer?
No, I don't think he was a cop. I think he was a something. He was connected to them somehow. I don't know the facts of it.
So, like, how does stuff like this happen and you get away with it for so long? Like, nobody tells?
Money.
Money.
Yeah, you got that money. You
So
get away
money
with-
talks.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, money talks. Man. I don't want to believe it though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to believe it because I love Diddy. I've always loved Diddy. I had much respect for his grind and his hustle. Like he got it out the mud. And for this to be happening and be his downfall, man, I hate it. I hate to see it.
I mean, you know, his catchphrase was "Can't stop, won't stop." That's why he kept doing it. He
Can't
felt
stop,
like
won't stop. He
can't
kept
stop,
doing
won't
it. He can't
stop.
stop, won't stop. Oh my God. It's like, dang, man, I don't want to believe it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one that doesn't, because if somebody asked me, and I was just like, man, I don't want to believe it because I love Diddy.
When his houses got raided, I'm like, oh, this is serious.
This,
like,
I said the same thing.
him paying
Homeland
off-
Security raiding your house.
Exactly.
This is some serious stuff, Diddy.
Like him
You done
paying
did
a
something.
lawsuit or settling a lawsuit is different, but when they raiding all your cribs at the same time, you done
did
there's
something.
something going down.
Oh my God! And if somebody was filming him in Miami at the airport, did you see that?
Yeah, he looked nervous as I don't know
Yeah,
what.
he was just walking back and forth. He probably like, what is going on with my life right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is going on with my life? Why is this happening to me?
All about the Benjamins, baby.
Oh my God. I just can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all better leave Jay-Z alone, man.
Yeah.
Jay-Z ain't got nothing to do with it.
Jay ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that. Did you hear about okay, so with this Diddy stuff, are you watching 50 Cent? Because I've been watching 50 Cent
Yeah, he's
so
hilarious.
closely, following him like 50. What is 50? I mean, like he dragged his baby mama into it. Like
Yep. Putting the paperwork.
she was putting the paperwork too
Said
by
that
this
she was
little
a sex
rod
worker.
dude.
Yeah, said that she was a sex worker too. Her and Young Miami.
Come on, do you really believe that?
I mean,
It's plausible.
I think they're just his shorties that maybe he had sex with, but I don't think they're sex workers. They're just making it seem worse than it is. It's like
What made this guy, Little Rod, do all this?
because he wasn't getting paid for his music, is what I heard.
Was it something that was recent that he was working on?
That album that Diddy just dropped it was called Love.
So Diddy didn't pay him for the Love album?
That's what they saying, and he was, you know, he ain't get paid, he ain't get his royalty, so he like I'm exposing everything.
So that's what made him do it. But how many people wouldn't have done this already that didn't get paid? And
They probably didn't have no proof.
it's like stuff is coming out the woodwork. The girl that was shot in the club, I think she was shot in the club, said Diddy shot her
Instead of
Shine. Shine then went to jail, did time for him. I'm sure he took care of Shine's family.
Yeah.
You know, and probably said, bruh, I'm trying to build my brand here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I got you. Because I'm going to take this to the next level. I got you. So I want to know, Shine, does he really got you? Did he take care of you? Did he take care of your family? Like, what was the agreement? If there was one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think they had an agreement?
Yeah. I think I don't know. It just seemed like Diddy has a bad energy around him, and he's probably just look at all the things like Biggie dying, Shine going to jail. It's just been a lot of things that haunt him and follow him. That it's like, what has he done to get that karma? You know?
Oh, that's true. I never thought about that. That is true too. Like, what are you doing to? Why is this energy or this negativity following you? This cloud of darkness that you're being exposed now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be out here treating people bad, especially when people got stuff on you. Like you would think, why did he not want to pay this dude? He worked on the damn album. Why would you not want to pay him? Why do you feel?
It's shady. The music industry is shady.
Like he's in there working his ass off for you, and the record did good. So why would you not pay him?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like I think that's really foul that, you know, you feel like you're Diddy and you can't pay somebody like that. I think that's foul, but I don't want to believe all of this stuff either. I really don't. I ain't gonna lie.
They said that he sold Revolt TV too.
Yeah, they said that.
The same day his house got raided,
So that why is he selling everything off?
because bad for business for his name to be on anything now.
Dang. And they said, okay, so he had the Ciroc, right? They brought him in. They said, you know, it was somebody I was listening to, and they were talking about you negotiate. It was, what's his name? 2 Live Crew. Luke was talking about it, and he was talking about when you make deals with these big corporations and then you want to back out, they are going to make sure that you fall. So they're saying that this has a lot to do with that too, him pulling out and wanting to sue them.
And that just happened like last year, him suing them or trying to
sue them.
Not putting his stuff in the forefront.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they said that this is what this is stemming from. I believe that. I think Lil Rod is just a little snippet of, you know, what's going on. But I think those corporations, when you try to come for them, these are big corporations. They own people. You know what I'm saying? Senators and governors and stuff like that. They can just buy them off.
Yeah.
It is nothing but corruption out here in politics. You just buy somebody off. Oh, you want to get that contract for the city? Just pay the damn mayor. Like, it's sad to say this, but these are things that actually happen.
Yeah.
People are just paid off. So they were talking about that, you know, that he, you know, was probably, you know, suing them. They got mad, came back and said, oh, okay, we got you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, but they can only do what they got proof of. Like, they're showing you stuff they got proof of. Is it wrong?
Man, they tore his house up too.
Yeah, it did look crazy.
House was tore up. Like, went in there and just tore that house up completely. Sad, man. Diddy, I don't want to believe it. I don't.
You better go out there where what's Russell Simmons? You better go to whatever island Russell Simmons on.
Where is he at? He left the States?
Yeah. You don't remember because he had a
feud with his daughter or somebody, didn't he?
It was women who came out and said that he sexually assaulted them when he was working at Def Jam or when he was running all that music industry stuff.
What?
Yeah, and then he's in somewhere where yoga's big at, and he's just over there doing yoga heavy. But you know, the 90s were just a toxic time. People were even like, because it was mostly men in power. They were using their power to get what they wanted from people who worked for them. And it just, I don't know, it just was that the 90s were toxic.
Really? I didn't think the 90s were toxic.
All this cancel culture is stuff that's going on based on things that happened in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, did you see the Nickelodeon documentary that just came out?
I was not shocked about that.
It's crazy.
I really was not shocked about that. Those boys, one of the boys was saying he left the show because he was like, I'm not going to be molested by anybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, that is crazy. Like, where are your parents at that this is happening? Your parents are trusting this television program or the network, these big networks. I wouldn't trust them with my kid. No. I'm going to go to work with my kid. I'm going to be a momager. I'm going to go to work with my kid. I'm going to make sure my kid is taken care of. I'm going to make sure he eat every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let y'all be responsible for my child.
Yeah,
molestation happens.
Yeah.
Man, look at the Boy Scouts. They talking about the Boy Scouts was a prime example of that. Men that molested children, like, really participated in those types of organizations because they can infiltrate it easily.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. People who were like pedophiles knew.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna go there.
I'm gonna go be a Boy Scout.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
I'm gonna go be a leader at the Boy Scouts because I know I can be a pedophile there.
There were 3 pedophiles working on the Nickelodeon set that got arrested. It shows it in the documentary. It was crazy.
Really? So when did they get arrested? Was
2013.
Oh, okay.
I think it was so they got arrested at different times.
Okay.
But yeah.
I remember they said the names. I can't remember the names of the 3. I don't remember their names, but I'm going to watch it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it was crazy. And just to see that, like, Ariana Grande, Drake and Josh, Amanda Bynes, Amanda Bynes, you know, we see her going crazy out here. And then you see this and you're like, oh.
That's why. That's why she's been molested on the set. Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
Or just controlled. Because even, like, the director wasn't molesting people, even though he hired them 3 pedophiles. Well, based on what they told, he hired them 3 pedophiles, but he was more.
Did he know they were pedophiles?
They weren't doing background checks
Oh.
There was no background checks for freelance workers.
Oh, so they were freelance workers like photographers and videographers.
Voice coaches and all that type of stuff. So
wow.
them guys weren't getting background checked, and those were the guys that were on
Doing
some
all
weirdness.
this stuff.
But what was I saying though? I forgot. But anyway, it's just crazy to know.
Yeah.
Now I look at all that child stuff and it's like, man, what's
That's
going
why
on?
those kids get addicted to drugs.
Exactly.
You know, they're trying to wash away. Just think about it. It's a culture now. And even now, you know, it's funny because people want to equate being homosexual to somebody being molested. And that's not always the case. Just because a person is molested doesn't mean that they like the opposite sex, the person that's molested them. Because there's kids out here that are homosexual and they're not. They've never been molested.
Yeah.
Or they come from a dual parent household and not a single family, because they'll say, oh, the boys are gay because they didn't have a mother, they had no father in the house, only a mother. And that's not the case. That is not true. I don't know. That's a misconception.
Yeah.
So the same thing, you know, with this kind of stuff, with these kids being, you know, touched in a certain way, and then they go out here, they try to erase that memory, and they start doing drugs
And everything. They're trying to get rid of the memory.
Get rid of the memory of somebody taking advantage of them as a child.
Yeah, even seeing like Drake from Drake and Josh talk about it, you can see that he still can't even say it out his mouth what has gone on.
Oh, Drake talked about it too?
Yeah, he talked about it. That's why
in
it
the
blew
documentary?
up so, yeah,
oh, wow.
That's why it blew up so much, because they're like, dang, he's one of the biggest stars to ever come from it. And you see his eyes now, you can just tell something has happened to him in his life. He just looks crazy.
Wow. So, but he didn't come out and say, hey, I was molested.
No, he said, think of the worst thing that you can think being done to a person, and it happened to me. Like, he's like, I don't even know how to say it out my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm just going to therapy for it. He's like, I've only talked to my therapist about this. I'm only on the documentary to let y'all know
that this can happen.
Yeah,
and it can happen to anybody. And it could be happening today. You don't know. That's why a lot of times these kids go into these networks, and parents are just so happy that their child stars that they just allow the network to do, you know, they have somebody that, like a manager, and the parent is not the manager. Yeah. You have to manage your children.
Yeah, so there was a father, Drake's father was the manager, his manager, but they found a way to like push a wedge and got him out of his father's care, and he went back to his mother's care, and she didn't care what was going on.
Yeah,
as long as that check was coming, you know.
Exactly. Wow. That's crazy. The things that, you know, you allow because it's money and they're making money and the network is making, you know, paying them, you're allowing the network to be a parent to them, and you can't do that.
Even like think about how many grown-ups you know that hate working. If a kid is forced to go to work, they're gonna hate their life.
They're gonna hate working.
They're being worked, overworked,
yeah,
16-hour days and all type of stuff. They're like, they don't get to be a kid.
What's his name? The little short guy, Coleman. What was his name?
Oh, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman. He was a prime example of that. Being forced to work, and he was just miserable, and he hated it.
Yeah.
You know, and people, when we were watching TV, we loved him. We were like, oh my God, he's such a natural. We love him. What you talking about, Willis? Like, who didn't love that catchphrase? What you talking about, Willis? Like, but you would never know that they're suffering through this. And then I think the white girl that was on the show with them, I forget her name, but she went through drug abuse and everything too, being a child star. Like, they suffered through so much. Like, I wouldn't want that on my kid. You got to let your kid make a choice on whether or not they want to be in movies and all that stuff. You can't force them to do that. Like, that's horrible. Yeah. I feel sorry for those kids. I haven't watched the documentary, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Did you watch the documentary on Freaknik?
Oh yeah, I watched that too. Did you see
I was trying to see if I was on there, man, because I was like, Lord have mercy. But it's funny because I remember back in the Freaknik days, like I would be like, don't get me on camera. Like I would make sure if somebody was recording, I always went the opposite direction because I didn't want to be on camera. I did not want to be on camera.
It looked like a time. I would have loved to be there.
I'm going to tell you, the 80s was probably, when it first started, probably was the best because, think about it, 89, 90, 91. It was still new.
And they said it was more college people.
It was more college students. And on top of that, it was not a lot of, outsiders. Like they were saying, after watching, I was like, no wonder. Like back in, I want to say I went in like 94, 95, maybe 95, 96, around there, before it ended.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people, like, it just got nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
Well, you
freaky
didn't want to, it was the freaky
The
freaks
P. Diddy's came out.
The freaks at night, the freaks come out at night came out. It was like, it became something different,
Yeah.
and it wasn't safe anymore. And it's crazy because you think about it as a woman, and when I was watching, I was like, wow, that's why a lot of women stopped going, because they were targeted by men, and older men that was coming out, which was true. Older men coming out, they hearing about it. Oh, we going to Freaknik. There's going to be a bunch of college girls there,
you know.
whatever. It just became something, evolved into something different. You know what I'm saying? So I could see why they did away with it. It was sad because in the beginning it was, you know.
Yeah, for colleges, it was something they did for spring break.
Save people just doing stuff for spring break. But you know, because you've been to events where it's spring break. What island was that you go to for spring break where y'all used to perform?
Tibby Island, Tybbee. It's called like TB Island.
Was that in Texas?
Yeah, it was in Texas.
So
South Padre Island.
South Padre
that was crazy
Island.
out there.
Yeah. So, do you think in comparison, can you compare that to Freaknik?
No, not at all. That Freaknik was looking lit.
It was okay. So you think Padre Island was a lot more reserved, and it was just kids drinking and. Okay, because they were trying to say that, you know, when it's something that involves black culture, we try to do away with it. But South Padre Island has been the it spot. Miami was the it spot until it got out of control in Miami too. Did they cut out spring break in Miami?
I think they've been complaining about it these last couple of years.
Yeah, it's probably going to go away.
Yeah, but we still got Orange Crush, we still got Bike Week, we still got things that go on that haven't been done.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just whatever was going on at Freaknik was crazy.
Yeah, it got crazy. It ain't gonna lie, but I'm telling you, it got crazy.
But the traffic probably had
the traffic was the worst, probably. I mean, you would be it's funny because you would leave your car and go jump in somebody else's car. Like, that's the stuff that we did back then. You would jump in somebody else's car. You'd be like, oh, there's some cute guys like 10 cars down. Let's go down there. We're going to jump in those cars. You know, stuff like that. But it was funny because I was like, I don't think I should be on there because.
Like, they ain't sending a form for me to sign off.
Right. Because you got to sign off on the form to say, hey, I was
show
there.
my face.
Nah, I didn't do anything reckless or anything. It was just really out to go have a good time. And it was a lot of people. You knew you was going to meet people from all over because people were coming from all over to experience Freaknik. And then we had, I think it was Long Beach Island is where they had, it was like, you know, a bunch of folks out there as well, college students out there. It's the same thing. It's like, why can't we have something and it just be so honest and so great? You know what I'm saying? That we don't have to do away with it. So, I don't know. But Freaknik was a time, y'all. They tried to bring it back.
Yeah, it ain't the same.
It ain't the same. I think they just had concerts last time for the guy bought the name. Mm-hmm. And then he's trying to have like concerts and stuff like that.
Turn into a festival, which would make sense, like a Rolling Loud or
anything
like that.
So what was 2022 was the first year?
Yeah,
I think so. So hopefully it grows with time. I think we looked at it. We was gonna go last year, I think, just to support it to see what it was like. But I think he had a couple concerts lined up and food and stuff out there. I think it could become something. It's not going to be the traditional Freaknik, but who wants it to be?
Well, I know that everybody will be canceled.
Oh my God, man! I'm telling you, it was a time though. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot of stuff to kind of do. Get out there, you know, everybody in their cars riding around. It was a good time. And you didn't have to worry about it. And back then, you just think there was no cell phones. Yeah. Nobody was recording you. But they did have those big camcorders, y'all.
Big camcorders.
Because I remember, I'd be like, get that camcorder out my face. I don't want that camcorder. Because they would just be walking down the streets, getting out their cars, recording people. It was a time, though. Atlanta was hopping back then. For real.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't such crazy traffic, it wouldn't have been canceled. Like, if it was all just at Piedmont Park.
Well, you got to think, traffic back then, this traffic that we see today is a lot better than it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was here in 97, I want to say it was 97, traffic was horrible. It took 5 hours to come from downtown and 5 hours to go into downtown.
That's crazy.
Like, that was crazy. But it was because there was no way where for it was. I don't think Atlanta expected for the overflow of people from other cities coming in, you know, from other states coming in. They could have never expected that.
Yeah.
So they were never prepared for that. As the infrastructure of Atlanta was not prepared.
And still not.
For all, and it's still not really. The traffic is a lot better though. Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure.
I think with people working from home, it's less traffic. I think that, you know, the 400, all that they built over there and they're still working on. I think, although the flow to me is kind of weird, it's working. It is working. I think the traffic that comes from Cummings into Atlanta, I think that's still bad. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But I think like going towards like Alpharetta in the morning, I think that's, the traffic pattern is just better. But just imagine, back then, they didn't have none of that.
And no way to reroute it. If you ain't know how to get nowhere, you staying on 75.
Just think, you ain't have no...
Yeah. It's like, this the only way I know how to get there, so I'm about to stay on 75.
You had no phone. Only thing you had was a beeper back then. And can nobody beep you directions. You had to print. It's so crazy because you had to map quest everything.
Yep.
And if you didn't do that...
Follow it to a T.
My God, you'd be lost. Seriously. You would be calling the people like, I'm here at the Amico on such and such road, and I'm lost, and I can't find you.
Yeah.
And they would have to direct you while you're at the gas station. God forbid you get lost from the gas station to the business that you're going to, because guess what? You're stopping again to call them again because there's no phone.
No, you know I come from that. I was born at the time. I map quested a few things in
You
my
did?
life. Yeah.
I thought you passed or bypassed that era. Used to map quested on a computer
to get
before
to jobs and everything when I was doing like applying for jobs. I think GPS probably came out on what, the iPhone 1 was the first thing
I
to
think
really.
So. Yeah.
Because everything else before then had to be printed.
It had to be printed unless you had like a CD.
Oh,
remember the CDs
little,
for the nav systems? Yeah, the navigation. And those CDs had to be updated.
Yeah.
So you would have to, if you had a Nissan or whatever, you could go and get an updated CD that went with your nav system. Like, this is so crazy now. Those times compared to now, it's crazy how much advanced we are as a society. My goodness, imagine back then getting lost. And I'm gonna tell you, men, y'all don't like to acknowledge when y'all lost. You don't want to ask for directions. I would be in the car with your dad and be like, can we pull over at the gas station and ask for directions? And he would, I got it. I would just say one thing about him, because he was in the military. He knew how to read a map. Anytime we drove across country, he had it all mapped out the night before. You remember it? He would just he would just pull out that big old map and be like, we're here and we need to be here. So we're going to go all the way down. Like, it was awesome. He had a little magnifying glass so he could see. Oh, my God. It was funny, but guess what? It was smart.
Yeah.
Because we got to where we were going.
I know these kids these days don't even know how to look at it.
Oh, my God. If you don't, these kids that don't have a phone, how are you getting to where you're going?
They can't go nowhere.
Oh, my God. Say you lose your phone. Like, you're lost. Because we don't even have house phones anymore. This is your house phone.
It's everything.
It's rare to find somebody with a house phone.
Yeah, they're usually older. Like
older
grandparents,
people. Like, people just don't. I mean, we've come, this new age stuff, my God. What's going to be next?
I know that things are forever changing, so you just got to
Things are forever changing, and they're going to continue to change. Your mind frame has to change as society changes. You have to change your mind frame. Even older people, if you're still around, even for myself, you know what I'm saying? As times move on and things change, I have to keep up with those changes. And at a certain age, people stop keeping up with things, right? They stop keeping up with things. It's like, you got to be computer savvy. You got to know how to use certain things. It's crazy. It's crazy because I have an iPhone and I feel like there's certain things about my iPhone I don't even know.
Yeah.
That younger people know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? I didn't know my phone could do that. It was like, you didn't know that? When did you learn? Today. I learned that today. I did not know my phone could do that. You have to keep up with the times because it's going to keep evolving. And as you age, you still got to keep up. Because if not, you're going to be in the dark. That's just how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize that you were in the MapQuest era.
Yeah, no, for sure. I MapQuested mad things.
You were like Job. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's crazy because now you get lost. It's like you should have a map. Everyone should have a paper map in their car. In case your phone dies, you lose your phone so that in case you have to you know how to get back home. But if you're out of the state and you're traveling and you lose your phone, what are you going to do?
Follow the North Star.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God, because where are you going?
Yeah, that sucks.
It sucks. It really does. And those are things that we don't think about because we are so. Do you remember when Instagram was out and some people couldn't get on Instagram?
Oh, like it was outage?
An outage?
Yeah.
And people were lost that day.
Uh-huh.
They were completely lost. Like people were like, I was getting texts like, is your Instagram working? Because mine ain't working. I can't check nothing. Like people kept checking it like every 5 minutes to see if it was coming back on.
It's not that serious.
Man, it's like you're lost
It's
completely.
their whole life.
Your whole life is on social media. Our whole lives evolve around social media. We have to stop that. We you know what I'm saying? It's building a generation of we are truly following everyone and their lives on social media.
Yeah. It's not that serious. It's not that important.
It's crazy. But that's what we're doing. We're following people on social media. We're following their lives. Everything is plastered on there for everyone to see. There's nothing secretive anymore. There's nothing that you can keep to yourself. Everybody knows your business. Unless you're just a person that you're not on social media or you're not posting as much. You know what I'm saying? If you're posting a lot of stuff out there, people know your whole life. Or at least they think they do.
Exactly.
Oh, nah, we know her. Yeah, nah, this, and that. You really don't. You only know what I post. And what I show you. And really, to be truthfully honest, you know, people are not showing you who they truly are through social media.
It's all flex.
It's a lot of flex, fakeness, people acting like they're millionaires and billionaires. But do you know, there's somebody I follow on social media. I ain't going to say no names or nothing because I don't even want to put you out there. But there was somebody I was following on social media. So I'm thinking, oh, this girl's designer. Okay, girl got a little bit of money, whatever. Her shit was fake. All your shit was fake. Like you buying fake shit and presenting it like it's real. Like you are designer down and your shit is fake. It's a copycat. Like I didn't know people go through extremes. Like me personally, I wouldn't buy anything fake. That's just me personally. Like I'm just not going to go out here and buy a fake Gucci bag and carry it around or a fake Fendi bag. Or if I can't afford it, I'm just not going to buy it. Why would I buy a fake one when I can buy a nice leather bag with no name and it's still leather? Why would I buy a fake imposter bag? Like why? I don't get it. But you know, people were like, oh, that shit is fake. Her shit is fake. It's not even real. I was like, how do y'all know? Can you tell by the belt she's wearing? That's not a real Gucci belt. Like, I was like, what? I don't know that. I was like, wow, I'm impressed then.
No, I've heard some NFL players, though, like past NFL players said that they wore fake jewelry because people just assumed it was real. Because they in the NFL, he's like, what do I need to spend all that money for? I could just go to Claire's. Just be
yourself. Why even put up a facade that you own all this stuff and you really don't own it? You know what I'm saying? There's people that go and post houses as though they own these houses and you don't even own these houses. Like, why are you posting? Is it to get clout? Is it to
for the clout?
More followers? Like, what are they? Why? Why are you doing this?
It's all for the clout. Everything nowadays
is for clout. That's what somebody said too. They was like, people do things for clout. People do things because they want people to perceive them as being important. I don't think what you wear
None of that.
None of that stuff makes you important. None of that stuff makes you better than someone else. None of that stuff puts a staple in, oh, she got a Gucci belt. Oh, she made it. That has nothing to do with it. For me, it doesn't. It's like, okay, you like designer stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Treat yourself. Buy stuff that you like. Enjoy it. But why be out here fronting? Don't front for nobody. Them people don't care about you. You shouldn't care about them.
Yeah, it's insecure to be doing stuff like that. But a lot
Is
of
it
people,
insecurity though?
Yeah, if you're trying to flex up for other people to make you feel better about yourself, if you want to look a certain way so that you receive compliments or receive...
It was somebody that said they owned an island or something.
Ha!
Was it an island that they owned or they owned? It was something like that. And I was like, he's saying he owns a whole island. Like, is this what we're stunting for the web? I guess that's what it's all social media. That's what it's about. Yeah. People out here pretending to be somebody that they're not. Be yourself. At the end of the day, my mom used to always say, I don't give a damn what people say. They don't pay my bills.
Exactly.
And that's the motto I live by. If you don't pay my bills, I don't care.
Me too.
I'm not trying to impress anybody. Live your life how you want to live it. Don't live your life under the expectations of other people. Doesn't matter. They don't care about you. You shouldn't care about them. That's my perspective. Right?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I feel like in this era, hopefully things change. That's just like with people, posting. Like, I watch a lot of workout videos. And a lot of the workout videos that I watch are women that I thought was natural bodies. Like, I'm thinking, y'all really been working for this. Which I don't think is nothing wrong with surgery. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But there's some women that are out here saying, hey, I had a BBL. There's a girl on there, the Fit BBL. I follow her. I like her. She said it's a Fit BBL. I've started working out. I wanted myself to look better. That's what I did, but I'm still working out. But there's some people on there that I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, damn, her glutes look good.
Yeah.
She been working hard. Some of them had surgery, which is nothing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but if you're putting stuff out here and you want women to follow you, especially women that are working hard in the gym, be yourself and be true to the women that are following you. You know what I'm saying? If you've had surgery, tell them, yeah, I've had surgery. I don't think it's anybody's business, but if you're out here and that's your platform, you got to stick to what's real. Because they're thinking, oh, she worked hard at this.
And they're like, I'm going to look like this too.
And I can look like this. The potential. People follow that. Let's follow accuracy. Let's follow realness. Let's follow somebody that really, I look at all of that when I'm looking. You know what I'm saying? There's a girl that I just started following, Panamanian girl. I don't know how I came up on her page.
Gracie Bone?
Yes.
I love her. That's the love of my life.
You hope to see her in Panama?
Yes. I will.
So I started. How did you follow her?
Because she's thick. That's what get me every
but
time.
She had surgery.
Yeah, but but did you see her like before and after?
No.
I'll send it to you. But
she was thick before.
She was thick. She was already thick. The surgery just made her shape look crazy, like cartoon character crazy. I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't look like it's real. She's beautiful though.
Yeah, she's
gorgeous.
Now I'm looking for a BBW to convince to get the surgery because I'm like, oh, that's what she did. Cause she was a BBW before.
Okay, so she just got sucked out and just put everything in her booty.
But her body was she was already thick like that.
Okay.
The surgery just tightened up her.
I figured that because she's Latina, so it just tightened up her waist and stuff
to make it look crazy proportion like that. She was already that thick without.
Oh, bottom heavy. She was already bottom heavy.
Was already there.
Really?
She didn't add to that. She was that.
So I thought she added to it
Nah,
because I don't know how I ran across her profile, but I was like, wait a minute, because when I see Panamanian, I'm like, oh, she's Panamanian.
Yeah.
Let me start following her. So then I started looking through her thing, and I was like, okay, she looked like she been thick.
Yeah, she was.
But then she was talking about, in the video, she was talking about, having surgery for yourself. You do things for you and what makes you happy. And people were asking her, people were commenting like, that's surgery, that's surgery, that's surgery. And she was like, so what?
Yeah.
That's how I feel too. So what if you have surgery? Just be honest For me, it's just like if women are following your story, be honest about your story. Which she was honest. She said she had surgery. I didn't know that she only had lipo.
Yeah, no, she was already thick.
She
From
was
what
already-
I seen, she had that thickness.
I gotta see the before and
Yeah, I'll
after.
send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. I'm curious to see her. But she's beautiful.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. I mean, she's beautiful inside. You can tell she inside and outside.
Yeah.
You know, she's a beautiful person. But yeah, so I started following her. It's funny how you knew.
No, yeah.
I was gonna say Gracie, but I didn't know what her last name
Yeah, it's
was.
like Gracie Bond something. That's
Yeah.
her IG page.
Her IG page, yeah. And she did something like at the baseball field. So she's Panamanian. She's from Panama.
Yeah, she's
Oh, you
fire.
might run into her.
Gracie, call me Bond. Gracie Bond. I'll see you soon.
You're like, I'm going to Panama. I'm
Yeah,
gonna find her
I'm
there.
going
Oh
to.
my God, that is too
Or
funny.
her, anybody who looked like her.
Oh my God, I know. I was like, damn, she Panamanian. She that damn
She
thick.
fire, yeah.
Man, I know we got some thick women, but God dang. Man, anyway, with that being said, thank you for coming and supporting at TT's House Podcast. Remember YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Did I say that already? Okay. All right, guys.